December 15, 2025 marks a historic turning point in naval warfare. For the first time in military history, an underwater drone has successfully struck and disabled a submarine. This isn't science fiction, this is the reality of modern conflict, and it happened in the Black Sea port of Novorossiysk, Russia. Ukraine's security service, the SBU, announced that their newly revealed Subsea Baby underwater drones executed what military experts are calling a revolutionary operation. The target? A Russian Project 636.3 Varshavyanka-class submarine, known to NATO as a Kilo-class submarine, one of Russia's most advanced diesel-electric attack submarines. This is a story about innovation, asymmetric warfare, and how a nation with limited naval resources is rewriting the rules of maritime combat. Let's dive into what happened, how it happened, and why this changes everything. First, let's talk about the weapon that made history, the Subsea Baby underwater drone. Very little is known about this system. Ukraine has kept the technical specifications classified for obvious strategic reasons. What we do know is that it's part of Ukraine's family of maritime drones, likely related to the better-known Sea Baby unmanned surface vessels that have wreaked havoc on Russia's Black Sea fleet over the past 2 years. Unlike surface drones that skim across the water, Subsea Baby operates underwater, making it far harder to detect and intercept. Think about the challenge here. This drone had to navigate through the crowded Novorossiysk harbor, avoid detection by Russian sonar systems, maneuver past defensive barriers, and strike a specific target with precision. The video released by the SBU shows the moment of impact. At exactly 16 seconds into the footage, you can see the submarine docked at the pier suddenly erupting in a violent explosion. The fact that the drone successfully reached its target in a defended Russian naval base demonstrates sophisticated navigation and targeting capabilities. This isn't just about explosives on a remote-controlled device. This is about advanced autonomous or semi-autonomous technology capable of operating in contested waters, identifying targets, and executing precision strikes, all while remaining virtually invisible. Now let's examine what was hit. The target wasn't just any vessel, it was a Project 636.3 Varshavyanka-class submarine, designated by NATO as an improved Kilo-class submarine. These submarines are nicknamed black holes in naval circles, and for good reason. Their hull design incorporates special anechoic tiles that absorb sonar waves, making them extremely difficult to detect underwater. They're designed for stealth, designed to be ghosts in the ocean. Here are the specifications that made this submarine such a valuable target. The Varshavyanka is a diesel-electric submarine measuring approximately 73 meters in length. It's armed with 6 533mm torpedo tubes and can carry a lethal payload of torpedoes or cruise missiles. But the real threat, the reason this submarine mattered so much to Ukraine, was its complement of Kalibr cruise missiles. This submarine carried 4 Kalibr cruise missile launchers. These aren't ship-to-ship weapons. These are long-range strike weapons that Russia has repeatedly used to attack Ukrainian cities, energy infrastructure, and civilian targets throughout the war. Each Kalibr missile has a range of up to 2,500 kilometers, meaning it could hit targets deep inside Ukraine from the relative safety of the Black Sea. The SBU estimates this submarine's value at approximately $400 million. Under current international sanctions, replacing it could cost Russia up to $500 million, if they can build a replacement at all, given the supply chain disruptions caused by Western sanctions. By taking this submarine out of action, Ukraine hasn't just scored a symbolic victory. They've eliminated a real, ongoing threat to Ukrainian civilians and infrastructure. So how did Ukraine pull off this unprecedented operation? According to the SBU, this was a joint operation conducted by the 13th Main Directorate of Military Counterintelligence and the Ukrainian Naval Forces. This wasn't a lucky shot, this was a carefully planned, professionally executed military operation. The targeted the submarine while it was docked at Novorossiysk, Russia's primary Black Sea naval base. And here's the strategic context that made this possible. The submarine was forced to be there in the first place. For the past 2 years, Ukraine's Sea Baby surface drones have been systematically targeting Russian naval assets in Sevastopol Bay in occupied Crimea. These attacks have been so effective that Russia was forced to relocate much of its Black Sea fleet to Novorossiysk on the Russian mainland, believing it would be safer. But as this strike demonstrates, nowhere is truly safe anymore. The Sea Baby drone apparently struck near the stern of the submarine. That's the rear section where critical components are located: the propeller, the vertical rudder, the horizontal diving planes that control depth. Damage to these systems doesn't just disable a submarine temporarily, it requires extensive dry dock repairs that could take months or years. Ukrainian Navy spokesman Captain 3rd Rank Dmytro Polenchuk called this operation another turning point in naval warfare, noting that submarines are among the most difficult targets to hit. He's absolutely right. Submarines are designed to be elusive, to hide, to be invulnerable. This attack shattered that assumption. Let's zoom out and look at what this means for modern warfare. For over a century, submarines have been considered among the most secure military assets. Their ability to submerge, to operate invisibly beneath the waves, has made them incredibly difficult to attack. Entire naval doctrines have been built around the submarine's survivability advantage. This attack changes that calculus fundamentally. If a submarine isn't safe while docked at a heavily defended naval base, then the concept of submarine sanctuaries has been shattered. Every submarine crew, every naval commander, every defense analyst is now asking, if it happened there, where else is vulnerable? The implications extend beyond the Black Sea. China, the United States, India, France, the United Kingdom, every nation with submarine fleets is now studying this operation, analyzing the tactics, considering the vulnerabilities. Ukraine, a nation with virtually no conventional navy after Russia's 2014 annexation of Crimea, has forced one of the world's major naval powers to abandon its primary Black Sea headquarters and has now demonstrated it can strike high-value targets even in supposedly secure Russian mainland ports. This is asymmetric warfare at its most effective. Ukraine has compensated for its lack of traditional naval power by pioneering unmanned systems, surface and subsurface drones that cost a fraction of traditional warships but can deliver devastating effects. The Ukrainian military has essentially crowdsourced innovation, developed new tactics on the fly, and created weapon systems that didn't exist in military textbooks 3 years ago. What does this mean for Russia's Black Sea fleet? According to Ukrainian Navy spokesman Dmytro Polenchuk, Russia has now lost one of its 4 submarines stationed in Novorossiysk. 3 of these vessels are Kalibr carriers, meaning Russia's cruise missile strike capability in the Black Sea has been reduced by 25% with this single operation. But the losses extend far beyond this submarine. Since Russia's 2022 invasion, Ukraine's maritime drone campaign has destroyed 15 Russian ships and damaged another 12, according to Ukrainian military sources. These include landing ships, patrol boats, missile corvettes, intelligence vessels, and now, for the first time, a submarine. Russia's flagship, the Moscow, was sunk in April 2022. The landing ship Novorossiysk was destroyed in Feodosia in December 2023. The submarine Rostov-on-Don was severely damaged in Sevastopol in September 2023, and Ukraine later claimed it was completely destroyed. The pattern is clear. Russia's Black Sea fleet has been systematically degraded by a nation that barely has a navy. The psychological impact on Russian naval crews cannot be understated. Serving aboard a vessel in the Black Sea has gone from routine deployment to genuinely dangerous duty.
And here's the cruel irony. If Russia wants to repair this submarine, they'll need to put it in dry dock, which means lifting it out of the water. That makes it vulnerable to aerial attack, drone strikes, and satellite surveillance. The submarine may never return to operational status. From a technical standpoint, this attack reveals several important capabilities that Ukraine has developed. First, advanced navigation systems. The Sub-Sea Baby had to navigate through Novorossiysk harbor, a complex, defended environment with multiple vessels, underwater obstacles, and anti-drone defenses. This requires sophisticated GPS, inertial navigation, possibly even AI-assisted pathfinding. Second, target discrimination. The drone didn't just hit any vessel, it hit a specific submarine among multiple ships in the port. This suggests advanced sensors, possibly acoustic, possibly visual, possibly a combination. Third, operational security. Ukraine managed to develop, test, and deploy this weapon system without Russia detecting the program. That's extraordinary operational security in an age of satellites, signal intelligence, and cyber espionage. Fourth, adaptability. This is Ukraine's response to Russia moving.
Crimea. When the enemy adapts, you adapt faster. When they retreat to supposedly safer harbors, you develop weapons that can reach them there. Military analysts worldwide are now studying this operation because it represents the future of naval warfare. Unmanned, relatively inexpensive, difficult to defend against, and devastatingly effective. The U.S. Navy, the Chinese PLA Navy, the Royal Navy, all are accelerating their own unmanned underwater vehicle programs. Ukraine has just provided a real-world proof of concept that these systems work. Conclusion. December 15, 2025 will be remembered in military history textbooks as the day warfare changed again. Just as drones revolutionized land warfare, just as unmanned systems changed aerial combat, underwater drones have now proven they can threaten even the most protected naval assets. For Ukraine, this represents not just a tactical victory, but a strategic message. Innovation, determination, and creative thinking can overcome conventional military disadvantage. They're fighting a much larger adversary with far greater resources, but they're doing it smarter. For Russia, this is another devastating blow to a Black Sea fleet that has been systematically dismantled over the past 3 years. The submarine they've lost carried weapons that threatened Ukrainian civilians. Its destruction likely saved lives. For the rest of the world, this is a wake-up call. The era of invulnerable submarines has ended. The future of naval warfare is here, and it's unmanned, underwater, and unstoppable. This is history being made in real time, and we've just witnessed it. If you found this analysis valuable, please subscribe to stay updated on breaking military technology developments. Drop a comment below with your thoughts on how this changes naval warfare. And as always, thanks for watching.